Welcome to the Extraordinary Leadership Podcast. This is a place for you if you aspire extraordinary, fueled with inspiration, meaningful conversations, and valuable insights that are going to support your journey of becoming an extraordinary leader and making truly a difference in your organization and living a desired life. My name is Dagmara Asbreuk and I am your host in this show, and I'm also founder and CEO of Extraordinary Leadership. I'm bringing you exceptional leaders, change makers from different industries, sharing their stories, and above all, what made them most successful, impactful, and happy. I'm also sharing my discoveries from navigating and leading 15 years in a corporate world, building my business, and empowering senior and executive leaders to go to their next level with their organizations and in their lives. I hope that you are excited and ready, so let us begin. The world inside of us is complex, and the complexity of the world outside of us is increasing. So it's becoming even more important to know how to navigate, lead, and master the world inside of us. That is responsible up to 80% of our success in leadership and in life. But how do we do that? How do we navigate this complex world inside? This is exactly what we discussed in this episode together with my prominent guest, Dr. Ebrahim Al Khajeh, who is one of the most influential HR leader in the Middle East and an author of a book, How to Hack Your Mind. This very rich conversation where we dive into mind, emotions, energy, quantum physics is going to leave you with expanded awareness and ideas that are going to transform your leadership, your life, and help you to transform the organization that you lead to an absolute next level. Welcome, Dr. Ebrahim.
Thank you for hosting me here, and it's my pleasure to be here.
I'm really privileged to have you here today, knowing that both topics are close to my heart, leadership and hacking your mind. And let's be honest, they are very connected and very necessary to make a union, right? So before we dive into your book, I would love to hear more about you, your story. What shaped your leadership? What was your journey?
It's a long story. It's a cocktail, actually, out of everything. I studied engineering in diploma, and then when I went to bachelor, I studied accounting. When I went to master, I studied human resources. And then when I studied PhD, I went to human mind and strategy. So it's a diversity of things, mixing different knowledge. So you will understand more when you are leading things. When someone comes from finance, you will understand him more. When someone comes from engineering, you will understand. Design thinking, analytical thinking, innovative thinking will be different. And the more language or the more skills you will have as a background, the more you will deal with things easier. Another aspect, I'm a mountaineer. I used to do so many activities in my life. Any activity or a sport, I just do it. So I know that the more you are doing physical activities, and especially things you don't like, the more you are rewiring your neurons. And you are learning how to tweak your neurons to be more agile and flexible. Your decision making will be easier. Your problem solving statements or skills will be much easier. And after that, I went to mountaineering, is more interesting, where I started to do rock climbing, ice climbing, caving, canyoneering, via ferrata, lots of trekking and hiking, summiting climbing most of the 7 summits.
Wow.
Doing international certificate in IWLS, International Wilderness Leadership School in Alaska, where I went there to be certified ice climbing and rock climbing. More than 1 month I've been there in Alaska, and those things will teach you the wilderness way of leadership style. And you are leading and you are being in the front line, risking your life, taking people with you. And I've been almost from the day I started in 2012, almost mountaineering. I've been going weekly or bi-weekly, every weekend in Amman climbing and traveling climbing, just exploring the world. Lots of things you will learn internally. In addition to the history of how to hack your mind, where in 2009, 2010, I started this science by going into the secret and law of attraction only, and then started to expand. I was in Jordan for 1 year. I had my teacher in English. He was a psychological background. And he was telling me about the power of mind and the mind can heal. And I remember there was one situation where there were a girl and she had something in her hand. And every time he see her, he make a compliment about it. And I ask him, why? He's like, the more I give him positive compliment, the more she will have self-confidence and the more she will heal it and go forward better. And I ignored that until 2009. I started to have migraine. I went to the hospital and telling him I have headache. He's like, yeah, it's migraine. I'm like, what is migraine? I didn't know what's migraine. I started to believe in migraine. I started to have severe headaches where I went back to him. He's like, you will take these pills every day and you will be fine. I was taking it every day. The time I forget, I get a very bad headache. And then I went back to him. He's like, if you forgot and you got that headache, nothing will heal you. Take this box. There is one box, migraine pills with 2 pills, 89 dirham. I remember it very well. This is the only thing will heal you. I believed in it. Started to heal me. And then after a while, I remembered that teacher, what he told me. And a few people told me this is psychology. So I started to do self-talk and I started to do re-engineering and reverse engineering for the belief until I found there is change. And then I could heal myself after 2 years of taking pills. Then that was the start of the path of how to hack your mind. Going into different paths, going into meditations, going into different type of technique of energy and cosmos. And all those energy made me what I am today. All of those things accumulative started to build who am I. And leadership is not born leader. It's how to make and create that leadership style. By having a situational leadership style, you don't lead a 6 months old like the one who is 50 years old, and you don't. And those are the art of leadership style, where you have to utilize and to change yourself to match and reach to your target. It's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I can hear that. My mind is at where to start. So what I'm hearing is, first is, of course, a great diversity of experiences that you had in your career that I'm sure has broadened your perspectives and understanding how people operate, what are their needs, and to better foster those relationships at work and beyond. I can imagine that, which is so important. And a second, I hear, of course, a passion for mountains and a lot of aha moments, I think, from there. A lot of things that has kind of evolved from there and coming to the power of the mind, right? And empowering this example of whatever you believe, actually, it's going to happen, right? So this, and with this power we all have. So where do we start? Where do we start with hacking your mind? Why this topic you think is so important for leaders nowadays?
My thesis was about leadership style impact on employees' productivity. And the result came that you have to choose a situational leadership style. And I added in that the law of attraction, positive thinking, and meditation to reformat our subconscious mind. I started this in 2019. And until today, I wanted to write a very simple book to give it straightforward in an easy language to people. And I couldn't do it for more than 10 years. I do Vipassana meditation. I did more than 5-6 courses of Vipassana, which every course is 10 days. You go, they take everything from you. You have only your cloth. You are not allowed to speak. You are not allowed to eye contact. You are not allowed to think. So you are only meditating for 10 days every time you go. And in one of the advanced courses, the bulb started there. The light came on, and because in that course, they give you a pen and paper. Only in that course, the advanced course. You need to do 3 10-day course in order to open that course. Because I had pen and paper, I started to write the book. The 12 pictures in the book, I finished them in that course. And I came out to write around them. And there where I started to write the book in a very simple language. It's a 143 pages. 14 size font, small book.
Having actually in my hand, right? Yes,
Yeah.
very handy.
Average reading is 2 to 3 hours only, where you can read it easily. It's become a guidebook. If you will read it once, you will have a percentage of things. Something will come to your mind. The more you practice, you read, you will find more. The more you practice, you read, you will find more. When you become advanced, you read, you will find more. But the very important role I had in writing this book, I have a responsibility of sharing knowledge. And every one of us have responsibility. I did more than 50 speeches and the keynotes just to share knowledge without any return. I believe when you share, you will get triple in return. The more you share, the more you are getting back. This science is very rare. People don't have belief in it, but it's the science of everything. It's the science of energy. It's the science of atom. It's the science of electron within the atom.
Absolutely.
When we understand those more, I always believe in having the knowledge, practice the knowledge, and believe. Mainly because we are distracted with social media and different news and negative things around us. They will build distraction in our mind. When we are distracted, we can't focus. When we can't focus, we can't achieve things. Either you are a leader or individual contributor. For us to go back to create focus in our mind, we need to go to the base of energy and meditation and lots of things to start tapping into our subconscious mind. And within our subconscious mind, we call it sankaras, that are accumulative bubbles of some type of emotion that came from situations. And it will not come from situation. It's me linking that emotion to situation. Something will come to make me angry. I will choose to be angry or happy. So I chose to link anger because I'm addicted of anger and link it with that situation, and that situation will be the food for anger. And then multiple situations will come. Then I will have a deep history of anger in my subconscious mind where I will become addicted. If your subconscious mind is programmed by anger, then the autopilot is attracting anger to your life.
Yeah.
Meditation is going and tapping into that anger and observing it. Observation is the most complex science worldwide, and it's the science of quantum physics. Within quantum physics, Heisenberg, one of the gurus, he wrote about the observer effect. And there is a basic thing where Heisenberg explained when you observe something, both the observer and the observed are changed. In quantum physics, there is a very famous YouTube channel you will go, or on YouTube, just type double slit experiment. It's a very famous experiment for quantum. Human observation changed the behavior of atom. We are having an impact on the atoms, and that's how previously, long time ago, there was nothing, only nature. When humans started to have that subconscious mind and conscious mind, now we find microphone, chair, table, our thought become reality because we started to think about something, then we started to believe in it and started to manifest it, started to work on it until it became true. And that's the power of human mind. We can translate our thought to reality. But what I focus more on is going to the source of thought. Started by emotions. Your emotions can be measured. If you are happy, then it will be equivalent to frequency. Love will be 500, joy will be 540, level of energy. Guilty, shame, 20, 30, very low level frequency. This is how we measure by a EEG tool. We measure the frequency coming out of your thought. If we could format the subconscious mind and delete all the negative thought or emotions from your subconscious mind by observing them, then you will end up having only positive emotions in your subconscious mind. And why that's important? Then your emotion or your feeling will translate to thought. The benchmark, they say 70,000 thoughts per day come to your mind. All the 70 or 6,000 thoughts coming to your mind translated from that feeling. You are happy. You have 6,000 happy thoughts. Then you will start choosing 5 or 6 or 7 to work on them. You select 5 of those 6,000. And then you started to manifest them, visualize them, think about them. Try to write it down, whatever, manifesting. After manifesting, your state of mind will generate the action and behavior you are doing. So it will translate to actions and behavior that will reach to the end result that is the target or the result itself. If we control our feeling and emotions, we will always control the output result because the chain of translation will come from there. But if we will try to control our thoughts, but our subconscious mind is full of negativity. I'm angry, but I think positive. You can't. If you are angry, you can't think positive. It's very important to control our emotion, to purify and more enlighten our subconscious mind, where our subconscious mind will have a very high level of inner wisdom and inner peace. Then your frequency will start to talk. Said knowledge and practice and believe. Belief is very important. Dr. Bruce Lipton said, change your perception will change the reading of your genes. I see that genes are the library and DNA are the books in the library. Within the books are the codes. All your DNAs are data from your history, from your parents, from your life, from YouTube, from what happened in your childhood, from. And 70% of it is history that you don't tap into it. The more I tap into diversity and multi-things and started to explore new things and changing my belief or perception, I'm actually changing the old code with new code. And the more I'm changing the code of those DNAs, the more I'm changing to a code with high-level frequency. And the more high-level frequencies I'm creating in my code that are the books, the more my aura will be different, my frequency going out will be different, and that frequency will attract similar frequencies.
Yes.
The frequency is like flying on 10,000 feet.
And elevated consciousness, right?
Exactly. Elevated consciousness. And there are people flying on 100 feet high. You are there and they are here. They either convince you to come down or you convince them to come up.
Which is a stronger energy, right?
Exactly.
And how you can navigate that field of not being affected. So there's so much. So I think I like what you mentioned about, first of all, I think the basic is that we have such a power. We are creators of our own destiny, isn't it? And I think this is really important to really sink in, because I think on some general level, everybody's heard that. But do we really believe in that? Do we really do something with it? Well, majority not. So victimhood is level 1 consciousness, as we know, right? That's where it comes from. So we do have a power, and I like what you brought up. The second, I think, what I like what you brought up is the fact that there are thoughts and emotions. There is connection between them, because basically, usually when you have negative emotions, there is some dialogue in your subconscious mind, but it's faster for us to actually detect first the emotion. That's what we first sense in the body. And then we need to slow down in order to kind of notice those patterns. So what I know from my work is that there are these patterns that you mentioned stored in subconscious, that are patterns of emotions, triggers from very early on, or even sometimes generational, right? Exactly. And of course, they are all the same autopilot you mentioned, right? This autopilot of emotions, autopilot of thoughts, then running on fast, and of course, how we behave. And I totally agree with you that there are two parts. One is the part of mind management, which is for me the beliefs, the understanding of the rewiring this dialogue in the dialogue we are having in ourselves. That has its power. And at the same time, it's so important to focus on shifting our emotions and working on that level, because that is where we actually truly connect with the subconscious, isn't it? And energy.
True.
Because everything is energy.
Everything.
Which is maybe what we need to a bit elaborate on. I came to the world of energy, and I absolutely love and learn a lot, and I bring it to my practice and practice with my clients. And so I would love to expand maybe, what is energy? And you mentioned so much about quantum physics already. How can we explain what energy is?
In a very basic language, everything is energy. I told you that my diploma is in instrument engineer. So I major energy in engineering. When we will go to one of the studies from Dr. Bruce Lipton, every cells in your body contains 0.07 volts. That is energy. And the human body will have from 15 to 70 trillion cells. let's take an average of 50 trillion cells. 50 trillion multiplied by 0.07 volt, our body generates 3.5 trillion volts. But it's up to you to make it active or non-active. So if the atom is energy, that is 0.07 volt, and you can measure it in hertz, and by the EEG tool, we can measure thought by hertz, that is frequency. So everything is energy, and everything is vibrating. Atom is vibration, electron. So this table is not solid when you will start seeing it at an atomic level. And everything is vibration, and the vibration is the quantum physics. It's the life cycle of everything. It's the vibration, how it's working. If you can understand that vibration, that is energy, then you can understand everything in your life. And the more you explore within yourself, the more you will find it. And while finding those truths and believing in energy, and everything is energy, and we can measure everything by the tool, analog or dialogue, we will put that tool and it will show you how many hertz coming out or how many voltage. So it is scientifically 100% proved it is energy. And everything can be measured by energy. That's why energy in a basic language, everything is energy. And because of everything is energy, we need to understand that energy. By understanding it and having it that belief, your belief will generate more energy. And that energy will take you to your path or to your target where you want to go.
Yeah. And it took me some time, I must admit, to understand this concept, right? Because it's invisible. That's this belief that it exists. And luckily we have scientific proofs, and Dr. Lipton is one of them. Dr. Joe Dispenza is another one, right? Who are talking about it and help us to understand.
Einstein, Heisenberg, the gurus of
it's actually not so new, isn't it?
They are showing it.
Yeah, and I think it was in a Joe Dispenza book that 0.0999, I think it's really atom essence is empty. That's the energy and vibrations.
They call it electron and proton, but the electron is electron inside the atom, and that electron will generate frequency. That is voltage. If we will take every cells will take around 0.07 volt. How many atoms inside the cells? I try to do lots of research, but there is one research said 100 trillion atom. 100 trillion atom inside the cell. So do that 0.07 divide by 100 trillion, you will have the voltage almost per atom. But that's the scientific proof that the atom is energy. And the atom, there is electron in it, and that electron generates voltage and frequencies. And I don't believe, or I don't see anything that you can't measure it by frequency. Anything vibrate is frequency. Your hands moving, I can measure it by frequency, the speed and everything. And when you will go to data scientists, they translate everything into numbers. And numbers can prove those things for us. Einstein, Heisenberg, and every gurus and atom and quantum physics and different scientific methodologies, they all prove that the energy is there.
Yeah. So
you can feel it. If you are sharp enough, you can feel things. Oh, this version is nice to sit with. And sometimes you go and I don't like this.
You feel like a bit distance. Yeah.
The energy is like a magnet.
Absolutely.
Positive, positive, negative, negative, or negative, positive. So when you feel someone's energy is on a level of your energy and the state of mind, you will feel more alike. When you feel someone is totally opposite, you are on 10,000 feet, he's in 100, definitely you can't stay there. You need to move or to work hard.
Yeah, protect yourself sometimes, right?
Or change or convince or give a message.
Yeah.
So it's the hard way.
Yeah.
People go away.
Yeah, when we enter the room, right? Nobody said anything. You can sense the dynamic. Feel the dynamic in the air. And that's also what energy. And as you mentioned before, everybody has this personal aura we're transmitting. And so being unaware of what you're transmitting, this is one big blind spot, especially for leaders who wants to foster certain energy in the organization.
They need to work on themselves.
Exactly. And it all comes back because it's all connected. So I think that it would be interesting to explore what is the awareness of energy giving us. So what can we do with that?
the more you work on yourself, the more you are changing your energy. And the more you are changing your energy, people will feel something else. So when we say projects, transformations, different type of tasks, problems, issues, your energy will impact those things. Lana, your energy, and by using your observation, you are actually changing the pattern of every single atom around you. Either it's solid or it's not. Either it's things or it's projects or something related to you as a health. That's why it's very important to focus on our energy. Me, personally, I wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. I have a 2 hours program to change my energy. 1 hour I meditate. 10 minutes I do workout. Push the oxygen in my brain to do a better development for my neurons. And then I eat breakfast. And then I read for 20 minutes. And then I go to YouTube, open one of motivational speech and listen to it for 10 minutes. Just to do refreshment and remember things that I'm not doing it. Why I'm doing this? I want to wake up with high frequency. When I wake up with high frequency, I can do everything easily. Things will start to impact me while going forward. Maybe my energy will become high, not very high, or moderate. At least when I'm back, it's moderate or high, but it's not low. If I wake up medium, I will end up, after all this busyness and things around you and distractions, maybe low. And then while you are at that low things, you are attracting low. So 50% of your day, you are attracting low. And 50% of your day, you are attracting medium or high maybe. That's why it's very important to work on our energy. We call it lead by example. I will not change people. And in every single religion, even in Quran, God say, I will not change in you until you change it in yourself. So message is there. Books are there. People speak on YouTube and everywhere. Motivational speeches are there. If you don't take it and open the door to self-change, then you will never change. And that's why I see leaders that say, I'm the leader. I will choose one leadership style and everyone will listen to me. That will not succeed.
Absolutely.
You can't speak to 6 months like 20 years old.
Yeah.
I see leaders, I have to change everyone. No, you can't change them.
Start with
Do
yourself.
something,
Yeah.
lead by example. They will love it in you. And then they want to do the same. And then they will come to ask you. And that's where the leader need to use the art of leadership style. We call it art. And the leadership style is art.
I like this expression. It is, yeah.
It's how you deal with things, how you deal with problems, how you deal with complexity, how you bring the maximum out of every person in front of you without making him upset or sad or something. Someone want you to make you, someone, for example, want more motivations, motivate him every day. Someone is too much, for example, not people-centric, put him in a corner, put him in somewhere that you can bring more out of him and feed his ego. If he's an egoistic person, for example, by saying, I'm always number one, I always do things, and he always fight with people, bring him, tap on his shoulder every day, speak to him. He just need some motivations every day. Recognitions. Give him that recognition. Give him that speech every day. He will be happy. He will give you a lot. You can bring the maximum out of every person by choosing different type of leadership style and changing in yourself will bring the maximum out of that.
Absolutely.
I always say people-centric is old.
Yeah.
Today we should go to person-centric, doing personalization, either in leadership style or in numbers. Why person? Everyone have different fingerprints. I can't deal with 5 people with exactly same strategy. Everyone will have his own flavor personalized to his person, to that person himself. But if I say people-centric, is again the thing we talk about. I will put one style for everyone. I will put one strategy for everyone. They are human.
Absolutely.
They are not hardwares.
Yeah.
Laptop, PCs, yes, there is one type of format for everyone. There is one type of machine to build this cup. But humans, no.
Yeah.
You need to bring the maximum out of them. And definitely, you can't bring the maximum out of him if he will not give you the maximum out of him.
Yeah. What makes you successful when your people succeed. And I absolutely agree with you in this adaptation style. And I think what I discovered also in my journey and journey of many that I accompany is this aspect which mentions transformation from within. I love, by the way, this sentence. Even one of my programs is called like that, because it is where I personally discovered when I lean in the world inside,
Yes.
which is complex by itself, as we spoke.
Way more complex than what's outside.
Exactly. And complexity outside also increases, right? And when we lean in first to understand, this world inside of us operates, emotions, mind, subconscious, conscious, energy, then we can start to take conscious choices.
True.
And rewire some parts that do not serve us. And obviously, as we talk, that completely shift the energy in our body. We can feel it actually inside of our body. We experience much more so-called flow, ease, joy, love, high vibrational states, right? So it serves, first of all, us tremendously on our well-being, but also on our ability to perform and also to be creative, right? And intuitive, because on that high vibrations, we are really much more receptive to the higher consciousness.
And then cognitive abilities.
Absolutely. And more visionary, right? We call.
Way more predictive.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we connect with a higher wisdom, right?
Exactly.
And then, of course, that first of all transform us. So the effect is beautiful, which I want to highlight because it is a beautiful journey that so many leaders still would benefit to embark on. And the second is, of course, the effect on the outside, which comes from responsibility and role that every leader has, right? Because it's just unleash a different response, different energy, it's more inspiring, as you mentioned, to people. And of course, this is where you also understand how human works and you naturally adapt your style because you naturally much more understand why people behave this way, why they're triggered that way, right? Because you're much more wiser.
You will feel them.
Yeah.
You will reach to a level without talking, you will feel them.
Yeah.
And the Gene Key, I remember one story they shared about the predictive, or it's not reading the future. It's actually being sharp by seeing things. So they shared one story. They said long time ago, there was one guy travel between cities and areas, and people come and give him money and everything he want to pray for rain, and then rain will come. And he was famous. Every day he goes someplace, and they give him money. He take the money and he pray, rain will come. The conclusion behind it was he is not the one who is bringing the rain. He was sharp enough formatting his DNA codes, high-level energy, to a level he was sharp enough to see and know where the rain is coming. And he was going in that place, standing. People think he is the one bringing the rain. Take the money, fake the prayer, and then the rain come. When you elevate in your consciousness, and when you elevate in your energy and purify your subconscious mind and decode your DNA codes to a higher frequency codes, you are actually seeing things differently, feeling things differently, and your prediction will be much more accurate. When I feel something is right or no, even if I didn't see the number, then I will tell them this is wrong. When they go and review, they're like, yeah, it was wrong. Those are the very big, high benefits. And I use it every day in my work and projects and all those multiple transformations that we are doing. I use more my feeling toward things than spending time 1 hour reviewing numbers and going through it in deep dive.
With a logical mind, trying to crack the complex situations, right?
Exactly. So I use the feminine side of brain more than the masculine.
Yeah.
The masculine is more studying and preparing and risking. The feminine side is more the feeling, the emotions, when you feel things. Most of the people, they are 80-20. They are more masculine than feminine.
Yeah.
But when you elevate and you're feminine, that is the heart energy. Then you will start feeling things because your heart will feel the energies. But your masculine will not feel the energies.
Yeah.
Your masculine will go on logic. But
Absolutely.
your feminine will go to energy. And energy, everything is energy. So you will feel that energy. And when you feel it, if something is wrong, mean it's not aligned. If something is right, mean that energy is aligned with your energy.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a muscle. So, and I like you bring the aspect feminine and masculine energy, because this is also not so much spoken about, but it is in other words, we can actually compare it to lower mind, higher mind.
Connect to higher
And
self.
in a higher self, absolutely. That's the language very often I use. And yeah, we are not, I think, prepared at school, maybe now slowly with that awareness, we are going in the generations to come to shift something. But so far we've been, of course, conditioned to develop prefrontal cortex and an analytical way of taking decisions, where there is so much more wisdom when we tap into that feminine energy, that higher mind. And this is a skill set in a balance, exactly, because that creates the balance. We don't need to completely deny that part, but we have a deficit.
Not one high, one low.
Yeah.
Balance. When you equal balance them, then it will be different.
More harmony, right? And inner peace.
Exactly.
Everything comes from there.
I always like inner peace from Kung Fu Panda. There are so much wisdom in Kung Fu Panda.
Is it? I have not watched yet.
Find your inner peace.
I'll find your inner peace. Yes, at least the message is there. Focus on inner peace. How can you start to develop that part of self? What would you say are the first steps that a person that is interested to explore that would take?
I will focus on the core of formatting. Subconscious mind will have save and delete. You can't tap in to your subconscious mind. No one can tap into the subconscious mind, but others can see it and you can feel it if you become sharp enough, because it's programmed. You drive a car first day, it's very difficult. You are thinking about petrol, brake, mirrors. It's too hard. It was in your conscious mind. Then you drive for 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 1,000 times. Then it becomes subconscious.
Yeah.
It's programmed. Now you drive without even thinking. You drive, sometimes people talk on the phone, eat sandwich.
But we still arrive to the same destination.
Exactly.
Amazing, isn't it?
Exactly. And sometimes, especially if you are not conscious and you are thinking about something, unconsciously you will go to that destination that you didn't want to go, but because you are programmed to go. It happened to me a lot. So that's why the subconscious will get programmed by repeated pattern. You repeat anger, you save.
It's a
You
habitual
repeat driving, you save. You repeat whatever, you will save. When you save it in the subconscious mind, the deeper it's saved in your subconscious mind, the more autopilot will become stronger. Deleting is observation. The only thing can format the subconscious mind is observation. And observation, the best tool available in the world is meditation. And that's why if you see the new leadership courses, my boss went to Singapore, His Excellency, and he was taking picture on the slide. Oh, meditation. They talk about meditation. Doctor, I heard this a lot about from you. Like, yes, it's good. At least well-being is started to become famous. Well-being is the way forward. And mindfulness is part of it, where people started to go to meditation. So first, bring your focus back.
Yeah.
You can't do things if you are distracted. You can't do things if your mind there are so much noise in your mind. Your mind is like you are in a meeting room with 1,000 people talking. How we can have this conversation? Impossible. First, go to a room. Me and you are in that room. We can hear each other clearly. And to do this, you need to meditate and meditate and meditate to remove that noise and to bring back the sharpness of the mind. When your mind is sharp and focused, then you can go forward and think about different things. So this is the base of everything for me. First phase is meditation.
Yeah, to bring back the presence, right? It's the
Exactly.
present state of mind.
Not the past and future and past and the future.
Yeah.
Second, there are some tools I use as a basic things. For example, when you see me in my office and I want to focus, you will hear music background. I use music sometimes. If you notice when you go to spa, there is always a very chill, nice relaxation music at the background, because they always use alpha brainwave music. Alpha brainwave music will bring you back to relaxation. And it's made to relax people as a frequency. And usually we have delta, we have theta, we have alpha, we have beta, and we have gamma. So when we tap into that alpha, sometimes you go to spa. Your mood is not a spa, but the atmosphere and the frequency and the music will put you into that alpha, and then you will go with that mood. I want to focus, I want to study, I want to do something, but my mood is relaxation. I will put beta brainwave to focus, and I will start working with that beta frequency, 13, 14, 15 hertz at the background, where slowly will bring my frequency to align with it, and I accept that frequency. And because I accept, my mind will slowly go to that mode. So it's an enabler to help me choose the state of mind. I want to meditate. I want to sleep, go for delta. You want to nap, go for theta. You want to relax, go for alpha. You want to meditate, you can do theta, light meditation, or high meditation, you can do gamma. You want to focus, study, go to beta. So those type of frequency, and it's easy. Just go to YouTube and write beta brainwave music.
Or Spotify, right?
So many
Spotify, choices today.
YouTube, so many nice music. Music is one of the things you can use at the background. Another thing I use, mainly sports, activities. Do way more activities than what you are doing. Do activities that you are not good at. Do activities that you don't like. Do more activities, so you will do more things physically. When you do physical things that you are not used to do it or you don't like to do it, you are actually re-engineering your neurons to function differently. When I say climbing, I can give you theoretical 10 years of theories in climbing, rock climbing. After 10 years, I will take you to the wall. You can't climb. Your brain will not function. Left hand with right leg, your hips on the corner, flag, out flag, in flag, how to do your balance. Your brain will not function. You need to practice, 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 practice until your brain learn those techniques.
Yeah.
When you go to tennis, when you go to any activities, theories will not work. You need to do it practically. When you do it practically, your brain actually learning how to do it more than your muscles. And your neurons are tweaking to learn how to do new skills. And then problem solving will be easier. Cognitive abilities will be different. Going to projects and doing things and thinking out of the box, it's much easier for you. Your mind is more flexible than a non-active person.
Neuroplasticity, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So diversity in sports, doing more things physically, art is very important.
For the
Exactly. The more you do those things, the more you are actually having a better skills of your cognitive abilities and of your different type of surface level. When you will say problem solving, anger management, when you say critical thinking, innovative thinking, all of those things will come by default, even if they've been going through digital transformation and AI, etc. Another thing is very important is visualization.
Very connected with the third one, isn't it? Exactly. Because brain do not distinguish reality versus what we envision, right?
And visualization is actually the mental rehearsal of the subconscious mind.
Exactly, yeah.
You are doing a mental rehearsal. And while you are doing that mental rehearsal, even in, for example, all activities, they do visualizations. Even in rock climbing, I always, before I go, I visualize the wall. You see me on the wall, looking at the wall, and I keep moving my hand in the air. What I'm doing, I'm visualizing myself climbing. When I go to climb it, it's easier for me. It sounds like or feels like I climbed it before. Formula One drivers, long time ago, they used to visualize and holding the steering.
Yes, I've heard
Today
that.
they have simulator. Aviation, they visualize, then they have simulator. In Abu Dhabi Customs, people used to not visualize, but now I created a simulator and VR model and hologram and metaverse. Why? To create visualization for them in training. And that visualization and training, it's a gamification, it's a fun experience. Actually programming the subconscious mind more than giving a classroom training that is tapping to your conscious mind, that is 5%. Unconscious mind, more than 95% of your time spent in the unconscious mind.
Yes.
And it's a very fast processor and it reacts.
Yeah.
And it's the autopilot. So that's why visualization, music, sports, art, meditation is the base. Format things. Those activities will help you going forward.
Yeah.
And listening to positive things, training and practicing on making your mind positive is important. Meditation will format it and will make it positive by nature because you are in the now. And the more in the now you feel positive, you are there. I always advise, open YouTube every day, 10 minutes, listen to motivational speech. Maybe there is one small seed will hit you.
Something positive, something inspiring. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or maybe to listening to today's conversation. Who knows? That will become also.
Hopefully, if people take a small seed, 1%, 10%, 20%, it's more than enough.
Compounding effect.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like you mentioned this diversity. I like you mentioned about setting yourself in the morning to the state, because that is basically literally going to define your day.
You're full.
And indeed, when you put yourself in a higher vibration, then the difficulties that you are encountering will be less affecting you. So it's like a self-protection mechanism as well, right? Definitely, I like what you mentioned about trying physical activities. And it brings me to taking longer breaks, working in nature, because this is where we actually absorb these higher frequencies. And immediately when you talked about it,
grounding.
Yes. What came to me as well is the importance, to mention the importance of people you surround yourself with. Because, of course, it's the same as nature. It's the same who are the inner circle that you spend most of the time with. And, of course, their energy are going to absorb your energy. And if you just one around 10 who are on a different wave, you better change their environment, right? So that's just an important awareness. And on the other hand, how can you influence the others one by one? That's kind of each of us responsibility.
Without pushing them.
Without the inspiration. Yeah, by changing ourselves, I guess, right? That's the message from the past, by transforming ourselves within.
Exactly.
We transform our organizations and communities, isn't it?
Will feel slowly, even if they are not sharp. The more you are positive, your energy is wow. The more people say, we love being around you. And then they will start asking. They will
start to feel it, isn't it?
Exactly. They feel something, but they don't know it's feeling, actually.
Yeah.
But sometimes they feel it. You see people like to be with some people don't like to be with some. So when you are changing in yourself, your team coming to your office every day, they feel something different when they come to this office than other offices. And then they will say, why? Then they will start knowing. When they say why, that question is the start of that seed.
Yeah.
Then they will start asking, and then they will start taking a small seed where it will grow, and then they will start changing. Me, in the beginning, 2018 December, I joined Abu Dhabi Customs. The culture is totally different. Then transformation happened. We started to achieve lots of accomplishment and lots of award internationally, and. Then I started people to come to my office more, and then they started to ask. And then some of them, they come, we heard, some energy language and they started to ask. Then I started to see they are requesting for the book. They want to read it. Then they started to read the book. Then I start to see people are different. They are not the same people in 2019. The team around me, they are totally different than what I saw in 2019.
Yeah.
Because they chose to change. Some of them, they couldn't change. They didn't like the environment or the change. They will ask for transfer to other department, and that's up to them. At the end, they will choose where they want to be. They will choose who I want to be surrounded with. Either I want to change or I don't want to change.
Yeah.
For me, I supposed not to take any action. I supposed not to say, you must change, you must change. If you didn't change, I will take you out of this department. No. Let things happen by itself. It's a wave.
Yeah.
Someone would love to surf on that wave, and someone would love to go to the surface and run away from that wave. So it's up to them. You can enjoy the wave. Surfing.
And you're the creator of that wave, because what you're describing is what some of my clients also experience, and myself excluded. It's like, that's the shift inside start to be noticeable in the outside, because of course we are communicating through energy, which is the most powerful channel. And inspiring others to shift inside. And that's this co-creation that we are right? Because basically, in other words, the people that we lead are mirroring us. I've learned that on my journey, and that was such a mind-blowing perspective as well, which is connected with energy, isn't it? Because when you are asking yourself, what do I need to work on? And the first place to look is, how is the dynamic in your team or organization? Because these patterns, these dysfunctions, I call it, are mirroring your energy.
True.
And energy is your state of being, right?
Exactly.
And it's impacted by your mind, by your assumptions, by your habits, by your emotions and how you regulate. All of that is everything, isn't it? So such a powerful conversation we are having here. I'm really, truly honored and enjoying it because it's deep. And as you said at the beginning, there's so much. How do we compact it? So I'm not surprised you had been challenged on how do I write this book, and you tapped to higher frequency in that seminar that you've been, that allowed you to be in a flow, right? So kind of you open that up. I believe that going forward, these conversations, this topic, which we more populated in leadership development courses, it is a gap.
Yeah,
it is a gap. There are some baby steps being taken, I have a feeling. I'm privileged and honored that I, by my curiosity, went to and taking ownership, I guess, for my transformation, my growth, which came out of struggle as well. Probably you also with migraine, right? And I kind of chose that path to learn more and expand. And I'm kind of bringing people on this journey from, what I'm learning.
There was one book I read in 2010 about law of attraction.
Mm.
And there was one very nice study in it. According to the science and according to the tools they use, they say every positive ambassador is equivalent to 4,000 negative ambassadors.
Mm.
So the power of a positive person is equivalent to 4,000 negative.
Wow.
And there was a small table there said, if there is a country with a population of 4 million, you need 1,000 positive ambassadors to change the destiny of that land.
Mm.
So this
powerful.
is the power of positive ambassadors, and this is the power of positive mind and energies. And the more people started to believe and to practice the science of transformation within and elevate in your consciousness, you are actually changing the surroundings by your energy. And the more that energy started to become more, it's an army of positive energy where we'll make the world a better place of living. Instead of what we see. Sometimes you see media, they focus on doing things for self and making people believe in something that will benefit someone or some people. And that's where media most of the time control people's belief. We say change your perception and belief will change the reading of your genes. So you are decoding your DNA and genes to more negativity.
Absolutely. And Dr. Lipton, right? He is so good. So because it's really, it goes to our health.
True.
It goes to our health.
Dr. Lipton had a very nice experiment in the cells. He is like, every cells, there is 150,000 protein inside it, where it's 20 type of amino acid. The 150,000 protein are the gears of the cell. And what he found out, the gears that are the protein, it's activate and deactivate by vibration. Negative vibration deactivate the protein. Positive vibration activate the protein. When the protein is active, the cells is active. And when your cells are active, your immune system is on. When your immune system are on, actually, you are actually turning on the manufacturing and you are healthy. But when you are negative, you are stressed, you are shutting down those cells and you are shutting down the manufacturing, and that's why you will start having disease and. And the Power of Now book, he wrote something about when you observe your body, your immune system will become more active, and that will give you more self-healing, because when you observe a part of the body, you are activating those cells with your observation. And when you activate them positively, the immune system in this part started to activate. And that's where with your self-belief, your self-healing will become different. And there are lots of scientific, because of the placebo effect and nocebo effect, lots of science behind how to do self-healing and helping yourself to heal faster. Without, I will never recommend stopping your medicines or whatever, but you can make it fast.
Yes.
You can help it. You can believe in things more. And that thing will help you more because of your belief. And your belief will activate things. And that thing will have its own job.
Absolutely. And this observer effect, right? So much wisdom, Dr. Ebrahim. I think we're going slowly from the time point of view towards the end. And I know we could both probably carry on for hours, right? So maybe we need another shot. Thank you very much, for sharing. And I think that there's so much to take away that I will definitely digest by listening as well. What would you like to pass as a last message today on this conversation for the listeners?
First is urgency of change. With a very simple video on YouTube, 12 minutes, who moved my cheese? Let's have urgency of change and try to change within as soon as possible. The more you are late, the more you are actually filling the subconscious mind. Leadership style is an art, but you have to start by changing yourself. And it's always that we are responsible of ourselves. To little bit revise engineering, audit what your subconscious mind is filled. Every day go back to home and write down the most negative 5 things happened to you. And then write next to it what type of emotion are linked with those negative things. Are they repeated? Are they all related to anger, or all related to stress or anxiety or fear or guilty? Then you will know one of the things in your subconscious mind. Start to bring the top 5 scenarios that you link to it, de-link them, and prepare yourself to start with the driving a car make me angry. I have to talk to myself, self-talk. Don't be angry, just relax. This is a food for the anger. So I know now driving, I will try to avoid it. I know, for example, type of food, I will try to avoid it. I know, for example, my subordinate, I will try to avoid it. So it's good to be aware of you.
Yeah.
Most of the people, they are not aware.
Yes.
When you are aware of things and you, then you know how to hold it back and how to fix it. So awareness is very important, and practicing those things in the book and whatever you will find on YouTube and other books and the podcast and everywhere. Practicing those recommendations or those practices that been for thousands of years will change in you. And the more you change in yourself, you will have the fruit. When you have the fruit, you will go forward faster and smoother. There is one thing I always say: when you have something in your hand, aligned with the self and aligned with God's will and universe, then it will happen.
Yeah.
But if you have things in your hand aligned with yourself, and that self is not aligned with the higher self and not aligned with God's will and universe, then it will not happen. It's a short thing. It's a Panadol.
Yeah.
So that's why, by us connecting more to our higher self and listening to our higher self, we are actually more aligned with the universe and God's will. And that will make us having our life easier, and everything is easy for us.
That way we
Anything
can,
they give you the biggest obstacle, you say it's easy. No, it's not easy. No, it's easy. Make it easy to yourself, and then it will become easy. Believe it's easy.
Yes.
Then it will become easy.
Depending always what you tell yourself. And wonderful that you also mentioned, because I know we didn't elaborate on that much of this alignment focus, but I'm glad you mentioned that, because at the end is what helps us to be a vessel of making a positive change, right? And lead with purpose that we would like to, right? As leaders, finding your purpose as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Ebrahim. Where the people can find you?
LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, I'm available. I know it's so many texts per day in LinkedIn, but I'm trying to at least spend some time there and see the request or inquiries or whoever needs help or submit as any type of thing. Because I'm out of social media, I try to avoid social media and distraction. The only thing for career, I put it on LinkedIn, so I'm available on LinkedIn only.
Well, I'm glad that our connection worked.
Yes.
You're pretty receptive, so thank you for that. I was lucky, right? Maybe our energy aligned. I guess that was the second, right?
And everything for a reason.
Whatever energy you put, you receive it back. Thank you for this wonderful conversation. I know that it will be so much of value. And, you know, what I pick up is, I think the key message is be the change that you want to see, be that change maker and take ownership, because it all starts literally there. And we can only start with ourselves. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the viewers, thank you very much for listening and for watching to this episode. And I hope that you walk out with a lot of inspiration, with a lot of insights, with practical ideas that you can start to apply and, you know, be the change that you want to see. Be that positive change maker. I think that's what I want to leave you with. And if you like this conversation and this channel, please subscribe, please share with the others, because we want to spread that message. And also sign up to the Extraordinary Leadership newsletter, where I elaborate on topics of leadership like this one, all in order to help you to be the extraordinary leader. Thank you for now.